I'm back. What is happening, everybody? My name is Gliscor 101, and welcome back to another video. The more things change, the more they also stay the same. 4 years ago at 9:20 AM on January the 9th, 2019, I set off on a perilous journey to watch all of the screenings that my local cinema was showing of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I watched 5 screenings, had a very good time, and made, honestly, one of my favorite YouTube videos that I have ever made.
3D's a stupid gimmick.
However, that was then, this is now, and Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse is hitting theaters. And now, being sound of mind and body, I will be setting out to watch as many screenings as I can of Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse that my local theater is showing. One less time than last year's, yes, but hey, I'll watch it at least one more time in theaters just to make up for it. Also, at the time of this recording, this video had 69 views. Normally you would not make a sequel to a video that only got 69 views, but... Alright, we're gonna go see Spider-Verse. Already we have a bit of a contrast from the last time that I went, because the first shot of the first video, I am on the side of a road. I was 19 at the time, and I did not have a car. I'm running slightly behind schedule because I did not account on parking time, but we are on our way to our first screening of the day.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Okay, I have such limited time before the next showing. Very fucking good. I went in with high expectations and they were more than blown. The directors can do no goddamn wrong. They are some of the strongest people working at the moment. Visuals, music, animation, characterizations. The new characters were all phenomenal. God, I have so much to say about this. I will say more after the second screening, but I really do need to get to the second screening. 2 hours and 15, 20 minutes just flew by. It is an amazing movie. I am walking back to my car to record more because filming in public gives me anxiety. Fuck me, that's a real good movie. But yeah, second time around, it's really bloody good. On just a base level, the animation and the art, they took the style even further this time in a lot of ways, and they really knocked it out of the park. It's been a good few years for animation since it came out. The Bad Guys and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and The Mitchells vs. the Machines kind of taking some of that Spider-Verse flavor and running with it. But this just came in like a ton of fucking bricks and just were like, yeah, no, this is our style and we know what to do with it. The storyline, it narrowed into the exact facet of Miles Morales' character that I kind of like the most and I think sets him apart from Peter. Without going too hard into spoilers, I've always thought Peter is about responsibility and being a good person through your actions and how that can best carry you forward through hard situations and through the times where you fail yourself. Miles Morales, he deals with like a lot of legacy and self-doubt and living up to his own potential that he already has. I think it's best exemplified through the taglines of the Spider-Man games. Spider-Man 2018's tagline is "Be Greater." Spider-Man Miles Morales is "Be Yourself." I think those are two perfect encapsulations on what sets Peter and Miles apart as characters, and a fun way to run with those guys in terms of their core thematic elements. Across the Spider-Verse very much nails this. It tells a Miles Morales story in a way that I really don't think you could tell with Peter or any other Spider-Person. The other Spider people do get a lot of time to shine, though. Spider-Gwen this time around gets a lot more fun stuff to chew on. And the newcomers, while they don't get like a massive amount to do, what they do get is incredibly meaningful. I really hope the next movie can keep up the momentum, because if so, this is probably going to go down as just the greatest superhero trilogy of all time. I mean, trilogies, they tend to fumble at least one, but man, if they can do this, then this is just... It definitely bridges the gap from where Spider-Verse left off in a very good way. There's no regression here. Miles is a completely competent Spider-Person. He's had his arc from the first movie, and we're not treading old ground again. While we are dealing with multiverse and all that again, it still shows a lot of what his life is just like, and I do very much appreciate that. In terms of standouts, Spider-Man India is a big favorite of mine, which I was not expecting going into it. Spider-Man India just has this very youthful energy to him that is very intentional and comes back around to bite you in the ass in a way that I did not expect and was amazingly done. Hobie Brown's Spider-Punk was also very fun. Spider-Punk is one of those Spider-Men that just exist because it was a cool costume, and I do like how they've extrapolated that and turned it into a character. Also, a lot less Peter Parkers this time around, which is a good thing. Personally, I am a much bigger fan of individual Spider-Man stories. I'm not that big on the multiverse concept. The only place it has really worked for me is the Spider-Verse first movie. I feel like it takes away a lot from Spider-Man when there's a lot of other spider people around and destiny's a thing and da-da-da-da-da. The way that they play it here is... it's an interpretation that I wouldn't like to see lifted directly from here and moved to, say, the comics or anything, but for this particular movie and this particular series, it is a perfect way to execute it. I'm currently missing a screening because it started before my last one ended, and it would have ended after the next one started. But I've still got 2 more screenings to go for the day, so let's just jump into the next one. Right, third showing down, and God, it's such a satisfying package. Beginning to end, the opening just hits you like a ton of bricks. It opened in a way that I truly did not expect it to. And it just keeps going from there and building on that momentum. As someone that is a massive superhero fan, there's truly nothing else like the Spider-Verse movies happening, which is incredible to say because there are so many goddamn superhero things happening. Not just the fact that it's a high-budget animated movie, though that would be enough to put it apart, but just also the way that it is written and constructed is not like any of the other superhero movies or TV shows getting offered at the moment. The way that it treats its characters, with a few exceptions which honestly are worth mentioning as kind of downers. I think Jessica Drew could have been stronger, and I think Ben Reilly especially kind of got character assassinated slightly, but that's a nitpick. But other than that, the way that it characterizes all of these different spider people is just phenomenal. Right, we've got 1 more screening to go. Let's finish strong, and I'll also have a few spoilery opinions after that. It is now 2:15 a.m, which is a fair bit later than I was meant to get home, but I got a call from friends to sober drive. Don't drink and drive, kids. As I already said, I very much enjoyed the movie, but now that we are 4 sessions in, let's get into spoiler territory. So, the Spider-Verse idea has kind of always been at odds with the concept pitched in the first Spider-Verse movie. Anyone can wear the mask, yes, but some people are destined to wear it. These ideas don't really correlate. I've never liked the Spider-Verse in the comics because it's always kind of taken away the happenstance of Peter Parker and so many other Spider-People's characters. They weren't just some scrawny nerd that had to learn about power and responsibility. Peter Parker was the chosen one. And like so many chosen ones before it, this really takes away from his character. Miles Morales too, also Gwen Stacy, and all the other characters that are tangled up in this web of destiny, blah blah blah. It's a dumb idea, and I don't like that so much of the Spider-Verse comic-wise is so wrapped up in this idea of fate and spider totems and all this nonsense. What the Spider-Verse movies are doing, however, I think is an interesting way of having their cake and eating it too. All of the spider people that we have met were chosen ones destined to be the Spider-Man of their reality. Except Miles Morales. Finding out Miles is the odd one out in this spider utopia, not just because of who he is, but everything about him really made it feel like a powerful move when he stood up for himself. While I do stand by that this movie is a complete narrative experience that is cathartic in its own right, the amount of setting up it does that you can tell is going to be paid off later makes me feel that I will either love this movie 1,000-fold when the sequel comes out, or the sequel's going to be a letdown and it's going to drag this movie down with it somewhat. To be honest, I cannot promise that there's going to be more videos anytime soon, but what I can promise is when Spider-Verse 3 hits theaters sometime next year, I'm going to be there to binge it. As for right now, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fun jazz, and I'll see you in the next video.